Welcome to the 1-year house tour. I can't believe it's been a full year of DIYs, and today we're going to show you guys around the whole entire house. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys how much we actually spent on making over each of the rooms. But right now, I want you guys to go in the comments and give me your best guess of how much we spent, and at the end, I will reveal it to you guys. Instead of starting the tour upstairs, we're actually going to start in the basement because that is the newest space that we've made over. So let me take you guys downstairs. Welcome to our fully furnished basement. This is the latest makeover in this house, and in case you missed it, I will link it down below for you guys. So I basically left this for last because it was the largest and most intimidating area, and also it is where my workshop is, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But mostly this was such a mess down here. I had wood everywhere, and now that it's done, it's pretty much my favorite place in the house. So upstairs you'll see that I kept it pretty neutral, but down here I wanted it to be really colorful. So you're going to see obviously the navy blue everywhere, and also a lot of fun colors like these green chairs that I love and these prints on the pillows. And I feel like I took more risks down here just because it's supposed to be a fun spot where we watch movies, hang out with our friends and family. And let me show you guys around. So here is the bar. I had a big vision to have an open entertainment area where people can serve themselves. So we went with these faux marble countertops. These are a really good affordable option. And then I love that I kept these wood cabinets the way they are with these beautiful brass knobs and a mini fridge, which I honestly can't believe we have one. This is kind of like a dream house moment because I never thought that I would have one. So we have a bunch of fun drinks in here like Hawaiian Sun. There's also this lychee jelly drink. I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but I love this stuff. And then we have soju for days. And off to the side here is a little lounge area, so when you get your drink, you can sit down, relax, and I opted for a coffee table here because it's just what fit into the layout best. Originally, I was going to do a little side table, but honestly, this works out so beautifully. We also have this DIY tray that I made. I'm still so obsessed with it. Since we work for ourselves, I guess we can kind of use this as a happy hour moment. Like, we can grab some drinks, sit down and relax, and yeah, I'm just excited to use this space. One thing I really liked about the basement was this exposed brick wall, so I decided to make a little gallery moment out of it. Eventually, I want to do floor to ceiling frames. So some of these things we've had for a really long time. This first one is actually one of my favorite prints. It's from our condo, and let me know if you guys have been following since the condo days. You guys are the real ones. And next to it is an LA print that we actually had in our LA apartment, so I love that we were able to bring these with us place after place. Oh, and this one is actually a real New Yorker print that I got at the Brooklyn flea market. I went to New York for the first time this year, so this was a little souvenir, and I just love this whole aesthetic. And then of course we had to put a little Harry Potter in here, and hopefully I fill this up with like movie and TV show things because this is an entertainment room, but I'm working on that for now. Did you mess this up, babe? Welcome to our little movie setup. This is a huge comfy couch that we love, and it will honestly fit a lot of people. We just haven't had the chance to actually use it yet, so just mostly be me and Brian sitting on both ends and putting our feet up, which is really nice. Our couch upstairs is an L shape, so this is a U, and that way we both get our own things, and then maybe one day we'll get one to put in the middle, and it'll just be like a giant bed where we could just lay down and watch movies or sleep. It's just so cozy. Since this area doesn't really fit a coffee table, I opted for a side table, which is great for putting down your drinks or popcorn or whatever. It definitely is necessary and a functional item, but also aesthetically pleasing. And if we ever do want to do game nights down here, we can just move these out of the way and then move the big coffee table in the middle. So this really is a multi-purpose, multi-functional room. Moving on to the main feature wall, we did the board and batten up here with a smaller trim, so it's a little bit more modern looking. So we have this beautiful media console, our huge TV. If you guys follow on this channel, then you know that I love to dupe DIY projects for way less. So this is actually inspired by a $7,000 disco ball, and I made it for under $20. I just love how much sparkle it adds to the room. It adds a little whimsy factor. Growing up, my parents actually had a disco ball in our basement, so this kind of pays homage to it, and I kind of want to get a real one and put it from the ceiling and get some lights and stuff, but that is for a future project. This is just a fun conversational piece and definitely unique and one of a kind. So here is my album wall and also my little library. So I love how much color is just in this little corner from the books and also the vinyls. If you guys remember, I actually did this area 2 times. So this is version 2, the new and improved version. I made this whole bookshelf as well as these IKEA DIY hack benches. Also, sometimes I forget that I DIY'd something, so I made this cushion as well. And I just love how it ties everything together. And inside it's really functional, so we have extra cushions and blankets and things. When we first did this makeover, I actually left this little area empty because I wanted to put a record player. So let me grab that really quick. Ta-da! This was made perfectly for this spot, and I want to thank Ashley Furniture for sponsoring today's video. This little nook fits it so perfectly, and the basement is a place where we just want to host our friends and family, so of course we need to have some music to set the mood. And I must say the setup for this was so easy. I was able to put it together in under 30 minutes. The instructions were so clear, and this actually comes in different colors, but I chose the brown just to fit with the rest of my decor. There's plenty of room for my growing vinyl collection, and I love that there's open shelving so that you can put some decor on there as well. And when my family comes over, they actually bring our family dog Mojo, so now he has a little spot in my house. This is the Ashley Pepperton modern wooden pet bed, and this definitely is the cutest pet bed I've ever seen. It has this beautiful natural wood finish, and I love that it is just modern and minimal because it could fit in with a lot of different decor styles. Oh my god, I'm so happy he has his own little corner now. Aww. Can you stay forever, Mojo? The pet bed was also really easy to assemble, so I did that in under 30 minutes all by myself. If you guys are interested in these pieces from Ashley Furniture, you can find them on Amazon, and I'll also link them below in the description box. I can't wait to have people over and blast some music, and I'm so happy that Mojo has his own little corner in my house now. The basement feels so much more complete. Let's move on with the rest of the tour. Moving on into the workshop, which is behind these curtains if you haven't already guessed, but this is the entrance. And this is where all of the magic happens. If you guys can remember, this was just an empty little area and I've transformed it into my workshop. So we have an inspiration board, I DIY'd this cabinet, I also had these IKEA drawers. Everything in here just feels so much more organized than what I used to have, which was basically a bunch of wood on the floors. I didn't even have a single countertop to work with, so now I have all these surfaces. It has honestly made my DIY life so much better, and obviously we have the star of the show, which is this thrift flip that I did. It is a DIY workbench. So I added on this worktop and I made these drawers look like apothecary drawers, and it is just honestly my dream workbench. Since I film in here a lot, I wanted to make sure everything looked pretty, so I even made a beautiful arch cabinet from IKEA. This is a really easy hack that you can do. And this holds all of my paint, spray paint. It also stains in here, so everything is nice and organized. And honestly, I feel a lot less stressed when I come to do a project because I know where everything is. Still trying to figure out what to do with this pile of paint. I have another area where I want to store it all, but for now, this is just here. And then we have a little mural that I painted in the background and our DIY wood storage cart. So this has all of my cutoff pieces. It has some pole wrap and trim. A year and a half ago, I didn't even know how to use power tools, so I just feel so lucky that I have a space to get creative. And it's really cool because I can utilize this whole area to building projects. Originally, we wanted to build a gym down here, but I think this just works out so much better.
I still want a gym.
Maybe someday. Also, a bunch of you were wondering where I put my larger pieces of wood, and it is all in this closet, so I have a ton to work with. Enough of that. As you can see, the curtains make a world of a difference. It gives us separation from the entertainment spot, versus the workshop, which gets really messy. So I'm going to put some plastic down there so it really separates it. Plus it gives us that really nice movie theater vibe with the blue velvet. It really does make it feel like 2 rooms in here, and I'm just so happy with how it all came out. If you thought we were done with the basement, there is more to show you guys. So here is the laundry room, and a secret that I kept from you guys is that I didn't actually finish painting it, so it stops right here. But this totally went through a huge transformation. The hardest part about doing any makeover is just seeing the potential in space, especially when it doesn't look that great. So if you guys remember, I built this barn door and I hid this ugly water heater. There's also like cleaning supplies and stuff, so I just hide it behind this door. But this just made a world of a difference. And then we also installed the shiplap. If you watched that video, then you guys saw that there was a huge crawl space that Brian got into. It honestly was such a shocking thing to find in this house, but we've covered that up and made this beautiful little folding station. I also went with blue down here because I fell in love on Pinterest with powder blue laundry rooms. So that is what we made. And here we have party supplies, also extra linens, and just like extra things that we don't need all the time. I feel like this house really lacks in storage, so this was a great solution. And speaking of low storage, we actually have a whole bedroom back here, which has now become my storage room. So I don't know how we've lived here for just a year and I've accumulated this much stuff, but there's holiday decor over here. There's stuff that I need to donate, and then there's also a whole area of just regular decor that I can choose from. But yeah, I need to sort this whole area out. A lot of you guys ask what happens to things that I don't use. They come in here. So we have my DIY chairs over here, and then we also have this really cute sign that we use for our summer barbecue. So this is me and this is Brian. We actually had someone make little caricatures of us. Is that a spider web? Does this look like us though? Let me know in the comments down below. I think they are missing our moles. I thought I added those back in. Bye! Oh. Nothing to see over here except for the guest bathroom. Don't pay attention to that area. But here is the guest bathroom. It makes me so happy coming in here because this bathroom is honestly what I would want our upstairs bathroom to look like. We wallpapered the whole entire thing and I just love this little moment right here. I reused the old vanity, I just painted it and added new knobs. And one fun fact about this is that I actually didn't install the sink back into the pipes because we didn't have the tubes, so it doesn't work right now, but that will get done eventually. No one really comes down here, but sometimes I like to just come in and look at it because it's so pretty. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about was these tiles. A lot of you guys were like, why didn't you replace the tiles? They look disgusting. Actually, these are really clean. It's just that this is the tile design. So if you look here, it looks like it's dirty, but it is actually printed on. I don't know why they chose to do that, but it is new and it works fine, so I'm not going to replace it. I'm just going to leave it and put a curtain over it so we don't have to look at it. Okay, and now we are back upstairs, so I'm gonna take off my shoes because this is a shoes off house. But this is our back entry. Also, I have 2 of the same pairs of shoes. One is my DIY pair, and then one is the pair that I actually go out with. So I love these shoes, and you could tell that these are really beat up. I think this has a hole in it. This is kind of a small area, but it made a big impact in just what we were able to do with the beadboard, a little ledge, as well as some hooks. So I do have a beadboard update. So this is actually beadboard wallpaper, and I was worried it was going to be a little bit fragile, especially in a heavy traffic area. So we do have a little bit of scuffing here and there, but if you guys are going to use this, I would definitely say use it in an area where you don't really move stuff around a lot, otherwise it will get a little bit messed up. Otherwise, I'm still so in love with this little area. I love the green color, and I think that this honestly just adds so much value to your home, even though it's such a small part. Comparing this area to the before footage, I feel like this just looks so much more expensive. This has added a lot of value to the house. Like if I saw a house that had this, I would think that they're really fancy, but really it's just 2 little shelves and some beadboard. If you're wondering what's behind this door, this is to our garage. Right now it's really messy, so I'll put before footage from the makeover when we did it. This is what it looks like because we just did the basement, but just know it doesn't always look like this. Those are basically all the boxes from the latest makeover. Trash day is tomorrow, so it'll be clear in here, but I made a mural. I also just organized everything and put in a pegboard and made this garage so much more functional. So when it's cleared out again, we'll be able to use it. Goodbye. Update on my DIY bench. It is great for this custom area, but we have so much stuff that we have just been using it for storage, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this or maybe make some closed storage. But regardless, this was such a great custom piece of furniture that anyone can build. I've had people come over and ask me where I bought this from, so it's such a huge compliment. And if you guys want to learn how to make it, I will link the video to this below as well. POV. Moving on to the kitchen, we really didn't do that much since the last tour, but we did this whole kitchen makeover for under $300. We basically just painted it and added new hardware. I think that doing the two-tone cabinets was so impactful, especially if you have a smaller kitchen like I do. So we have green cabinets on the bottom and then a creamy color up top. It really just opens up the space so much. Also, if my mom watches this tour, she's gonna yell at me because I leave my pans on top of our oven and she thinks that it needs to rest, like it's working overtime because it's holding these pans. So yeah, I'm gonna move them. Sorry, Mom. I also want to give you guys a 1-year update on the peel and stick backsplash. It has worked out pretty well. This is such an easy renter-friendly DIY that anyone can do, and I love this stacked look. And originally when I did this, I just wanted to see how it would look before we commit to it. But now that we've lived with this for like a year, I think I want to refresh it up back in here. So refresh will be coming up in here possibly soon. We did recently update these doors, so I painted them the same color as the kitchen cabinets. I think it gives it a more luxe feel. One thing about this though is that the wood does expand, so this kind of makes a noise. And then when guests are in there, they... Oh my God, can I open it now? Oh, there. Anyways, welcome to the powder bathroom. Someone forgot to put the seat down. Nothing has changed in here since the last tour, but this little bathroom was a labor of love. It was the first time that I ever tiled anything. I was able to take a bunch of different design risks in here because it's such a small powder bathroom, so I went with this pinky beadboard. I also DIY'd this vanity and made it more modern. This is what the house came with, and I just updated it by adding in a new faucet and then a new mirror as well as new lighting, and it just gave it a brand new look, and it's such a fun little bathroom to have in the house. I think a common theme that you're going to hear throughout the tour is that I really did learn so much from living here within the past year and just doing everything ourselves. Previously, we just lived in apartments, so I didn't have the freedom to do any of this. So even the fact that I was able to do my own tiles is just mind-blowing to me, and I'm just really proud of how the house has come along. And since the last tour, I still haven't fixed this, but that's a problem for future me. Off to the side here is our dining area. So we have a huge chalkboard wall which came with the house. This has been so much fun just having our friends and family come over and sign it, especially when we had the housewarming party. All of our favorite people signed it, and originally I was going to get rid of it, but I'm glad that I kept it at least for the first year of living here. But now that everyone signed it, I think the novelty of it kind of has worn off, so I think eventually I'm going to remake this over and then just really tie it with the kitchen and the dining room. Let me know what you guys think I should do with this wall. I think we can make it a lot more functional and also just a little bit more stylish. We also have this bench here because it's really handy to have, especially when we host people. We're able to add it to the table, extend it, and then just fit like 12 or even 14 people. So that's been a lot of fun as well.
Not the cleanup.
That's true. And in the dining room is where I did actually one of my first big projects in the house, which was this huge board and batten wall. Since the dining room is so open, this really just set the space. So I recently did a refresh, so you guys can go back and see what we changed up in here. In the refresh, I painted these, which are actually the same color as the back entryway, so it ties back to there. And this is where we basically have dinner every night. We love just being able to work in an open space, so a lot of times our laptops are here, and this is where Brian sits to edit all the videos. Funny thing is, Brian actually has his own office, but I think he likes to just sit out here to bug me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Ah.
Behind door number 1 is my DIY studio. Don't get this mess. There's a lot of mess. When we first moved in here, this was actually a kid's bedroom, but we turned it into my DIY studio. It was the first makeover that we did in this house, and since then we've actually refreshed it, so I think this is the best version of this room. I make all my DIYs on this table, and we basically hacked an IKEA calyx unit and turned it into this beautiful arched version. I also made this little shelf right here and also this print. I think this room really shows off who I am as a DIYer, and of course I had to have a ton of plants in here because this room gets the best light. We recently just added in this easel, and if you guys didn't know, art is actually my first love, and I think that kind of drove me into DIY. I feel so lucky that I have a spot to get creative and just get back to my roots and create art. It's really great to have a DIY workshop downstairs, but also this area to really get crafty and artsy and just share so many more projects with you guys. This weird closet thing also got a little bit of a makeover, so far I've just painted it and made it a lot more functional. In the future though, we do want to knock it down and make a proper closet, but we will see. So behind you is the living room, but I want to show you guys the bedrooms first. So this was one of the most impactful makeovers that we did in this little hallway area. I was kind of surprised by the reaction of this makeover because, oh my god, my stomach. Do you hear that? I was kind of surprised by the reactions from this makeover because this really is kind of one of those areas that are an afterthought. If you look up top, we added in a new light as well as a medallion and even ceiling trim, which I think makes this whole area just feel so much more luxe. We also installed our own nest, which really brought this house up to date, and we filled in this old hole. I remember there were 2 thermostats in here, which was a weird situation, but it just looks so much better in here now. All of the doors are painted the same color, and we converted this into a bifolding door to make the perfect little linen closet. We also added under-shelf lighting, which makes us feel a little bit more fancy, and if you guys remember, this actually had a hole back there. It was a little bit scary opening this closet, so now it just feels a lot better, and I am not as scared to open the closet anymore. Through here is Brian's office, and we also added a treadmill since that makeover. So this is basically Brian's room. He gets to do whatever he wants in here. Clearly he doesn't even use this calendar because it's from June. In the last house tour, this space was just a big storage room. We had an old bed frame in here and so many boxes. It was definitely a safety hazard, I'm not going to lie, but now it is a beautiful office. We did this pole wrap accent wall, which I think really just pulls the whole thing together. Miraculously, these IKEA bookcases fit this wall perfectly. So this really made an impact in this room. And there are actually 2 accent walls in this room because we have the wallpaper on one side and then the pole wrap on the other side. This room was so much fun to make over because I definitely got to test my design skills and make something for Brian, make it a little bit more masculine and really design outside of what I usually do. Babe, why did you not take care of this plant?
Oops.
We got to design this room together, so this is a really special project. I remember I actually finished this room after I got my wisdom teeth out, so this is definitely a project that I'll never forget.
Okay, honey. How do you feel, champ?
Okay.
Anything you want to tell your viewers?
It feels weird. And there's blood all over my mouth. Remember when I brought this back from LA and it totally melted in the car? Now it's just decor. This middle door leads into our bathroom, which I really haven't done that much to. I did make over this vanity, so this was a really cool hack where I basically made it look like wood. This is the only thing that we've done to the bathroom so far, but it honestly has changed the whole feel of it. I do plan to give this a whole makeover, so we'll be replacing this mirror, which is scratched up as you can see, and then updating the light to something that feels a little bit more our style. We did, however, replace the shaky toilet, so now we have a beautiful Toto toilet. This thing is really fancy. It is a bidet toilet. It also comes with a remote, so I feel very bougie when we use this, and it has definitely been such a nice upgrade to this bathroom. It actually moves around. Jesus, an earthquake. It's been about 6 months since I did the contact paper on this countertop, And so far it's held up pretty great. When people come over, I tell them that this is contact paper and they're always so surprised. So this was a great affordable way to update it without breaking the bank. Behind this door is the primary bedroom. So this is mine and Brian's bedroom. We've updated it a little bit since I first did the makeover. I did this beautiful DIY TV frame. It really elevates the room and makes it feel so much fancier in here. Besides that, I haven't really done much. Everything else here is pretty much the same. We still have our landlord special windows that I painted black. This definitely updated the room really nicely. And a bit of a closet update over here. It is really messy. I think I showed you guys the perfect version of the closet when we first made it over, but now this is what it actually looks like. Nobody's house is perfect, especially if you're a home blogger, but I would take this over those yellow walls any day. We recently did add an air purifier, so I just put this little side table that I hacked a while ago. It's not supposed to go here, so I think I need to find something else to fit this space a little bit better. Also, since we have the blackout curtains, I just updated our lights to smart bulbs. That way it turns on in the morning, so I actually wake up, because these blackout curtains are really good, so sometimes we actually sleep in way past the time that we're supposed to. So those have been a lifesaver for sure. Also, here's the board and batten that Brian will never let go of because it took us so long just to cut these. We had to cut all the pieces in the garage, run in here, see if it fit, and if it didn't fit, then we would have to run all the way back and cut it down just a little bit, but it was so worth it because I think this wall looks amazing. Now we're on to the last area of the house, which is the living room. Not much has changed here since the last tour. We did this makeover at the beginning of the year, and at the time I really loved it, but now I feel like I want to refresh it again. After doing over the basement, I feel like this space really is missing something, so I really want to add more to it, maybe add more personality and more things to the wall. It's just really neutral up here, so everything that you guys can see is like black or white or wood tones, so I want to change that up over here. But for the year that we've been here, this transformation has just been amazing. I'm just really proud of what we created here so far, and I feel like my skills have grown so much, so I think this space definitely deserves a refresh. Right here I have these beautiful flowers that Brian got me for our anniversary. They're dying a little bit. If you guys can believe it, we've been together for 13 years, so that is kind of crazy. In this corner, right in front of our fireplace, we have our bike. I honestly don't love it here. I really should be taking more classes and it's not getting the use that it should be getting, so I don't know if we're gonna keep it in this corner. Last year we put the Christmas tree right here, so we'll see if we're able to move this somewhere and make this space beautiful again, because right now it's just kind of sad looking. Lastly, we have the entryway. I am still really in love with this whole area. The only issue is I can't really keep this area clean because we always put packages over here or stuff that I need to return. All of this stuff is stuff that I have to give back to my sister or my mom or return to IKEA. So this kind of has become a catch-all. This was just a regular old closet with bifold doors, and I opened it up and made a little mudroom. It functioned really well for us, but now that it's getting a little bit more messy, I'm debating whether or not I just want to close this up so that you can't see all the mess. But I still love this as much as the day that I put it in, because this project took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. This was actually the first project that I learned how to really do proper pocket holes. So I'm really, really proud of this project, and I always get compliments on it, so it's really nice when it's the first thing that you see once you walk in through the door. We also have my DIY console table, which is still holding up strong, and I think it just really tied the whole area together. I added trim to the walls here. It just made such a statement, and I'm still really proud of this little area. Before we close this out, I did want to show you guys the backyard, because right now everything's dead. So I have footage from over the summer when we did it. I made this beautiful wood shed, which I think makes the whole thing. I also made a fire pit cover to turn our fire pit into a coffee table, and that was just so much fun, having a finished backyard for everyone to enjoy while the weather was still nice. So that rounds out our house tour. I did want to take a moment to tell you guys how much we spent on this whole house so far. The grand total for everything that we spent on this house, excluding the furniture and decor, is $13,355, which I think is amazing. I'm sure that we've added 30 to 50K worth of value into this house, and I'm so excited to see where this goes in another year of DIYing. This house has come such a long way, and I want to thank you guys for following along the whole entire DIY journey. If you would like to see more updates from me, make sure to follow me over on Instagram. That is it for today's video. Stay inspired and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!